faggots. Woo! So today is the day of reckoning for the Sig Sauer customer service faggot. So let's take a little read here for a second. This was the card that was obviously attached to the handgun when it arrived, and it says, "This firearm has been inspected and accepted by the Sig Sauer Quality Control Inspector, blah blah. Upon inspection of your new firearm, if you find a quality issue, call blah 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 blah." So that's what if we are fixing to accomplish. And during such time, we'll be gauging SIG's customer service. This is probably going to be a long-ass video that I'm going to have to chopping up and all that other good stuff on it, so let's get to work here.
Help you?
Hey, how you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I recently purchased a SIG P220 Combat with a threaded barrel.
Yes.
I received the firearm Thursday and took it out to the range Friday. I fired some, I believe it was Speer 230 grain full metal jackets through it.
Good, that's what we use here.
Right. I used 100 rounds of it, and then I fired another 8 rounds of Winchester Ranger T hollow points.
Okay.
But the issue was, I think there's a barrel fit issue with the firearm, because when I was shooting it, it was it was cycling, but when it would go to feed the secondary round, the extractor was not engaging on the shell properly. And I talked to a few people. I actually took it to a gunsmith, and he said that it was a barrel fit issue, because when you on a typical Browning action, when you have no magazine inserted into the weapon and you start to pull the slide back, there's a certain point where the slide actually catches onto the barrel, and there's an extreme amount of wear on the barrel in the chamber area.
That's natural on the top of ours.
Right.
And a little bit on the sides, yeah.
But I took it to my local gunsmith, and he said that it shouldn't be having that much wear. And like I said, it was failing to enter battery while I was shooting it. It did that. I shot 108 rounds total. It did that about 15 or 20 times.
All right. Did you use it straight out of the box, or did
Straight out of the box.
Oil it first?
Straight out of the box.
That's part of your issue right there. Too much friction.
Right. Yeah, it's too much friction.
So you definitely would want to clean it and oil it up real well. And with it being a phosphate-coated barrel, it does have a rougher finish. The 226 Navy is the same way, and the 226 Combat. That you want to really oil the outside of those barrels really well, because it's not a smooth blued finish. So that would definitely add to the extreme wear issue, as you're calling it, because there's a lot of friction on there, and our guns ship out with production greases and oils on them, not gun oils. So yeah, you'll definitely want to clean that down, oil it up real well, and remember that our guns are designed to run wet, so don't be shy with the oil.
Right.
Dripping or anything, but yeah.
You know, I say I used it right out of the box. I mean that I didn't, when it came to the house, I took it out of the box, and I always do this with all my brand new firearms. You know, I take the factory stuff out. I took a toothbrush, and I took I used Ballistol lubricant and oil, and went through it, and took all the factory stuff off. And I took the barrel and wiped it off with a very oily rag, and then I proceeded to shoot it. So I did remove all that factory stuff in there, because I always do that. I just, didn't think to say that a while ago.
Yeah, but we do notice more of a break-in with these phosphate-coated and chrome-lined barrels.
Right,
that
but
internal finish there. So
my concern is that there's not like, just a little bit of wear on the. I mean, it's literally like shining. There's like no.
On the top of it, it should be. All of ours are shining on the top of it. I've got 2 barrels in my hand right here. One that's only been test fired 2 magazines worth, and one that came out of my old gun that was about 7,000 rounds. They're both perfectly shiny on the top.
Right. But the main problem here is that it wasn't functioning, and
Right, and that's going to be natural with the break-in of that barrel specifically because of the finish on it. So you'll probably want to step up how much oil you'll put in there.
well, I think it's a problem with the gun because I'm looking at it and there's like, you can tell where there's like an unnatural amount of friction when you pull the slide back. And I took it to a gunsmith and he said that it was a problem.
I understand where you're coming from, sir, and certainly I don't want to, make it sound like the guy that you're speaking to isn't a professional, but, I mean, if he's not a SIG certified armorer and hasn't seen SIGs all his life, that's completely normal. I can open up the safe behind me and I can look at the top of every single barrel in there and they're perfectly shiny. So, I mean, that's how ours are designed with the lockup. When it happens, it rides along the last inch and a half of the top of the inside of the slide, just before it gets pushed upward by the barrel lug, and that's definitely the way they're designed to do it.
Yeah.
I would certainly, suggest breaking in the gun, between 300 and 500 rounds, and stick to the round stuff. Don't use any hollow points until you're well past 250 to 300 rounds, because you can actually scratch up the feed ramp more than what's necessary. You want to polish it up with the round nose stuff, so don't be putting that through there yet.
Right. Yeah, I only put 8 rounds through it in the first place anyway.
Yep.
So you're pretty well set that this isn't like an issue that should continue.
Never had it happen on any gun that it wasn't ending up being perfectly in spec. And certainly if after, proper amount of break-in, because you should see that number go down and down, with any failures to extract or failure to feed issues, anything like that. And the failure to feed is almost non-existent on that chrome-lined barrel because obviously the feed ramp's not...
Well, yeah, it was feeding correctly. It just the extractor wasn't engaging because there was too much friction there. There was something else that I wanted to mention. I mean, I don't know, I'm trying not to sound like a jackass as much as I can.
You're not nearly as close to anything like that. Don't worry. I've had people where I've had to bite my tongue. You're nowhere near that.
Yeah. I'm just concerned because, I mean, I know this is my first SIG handgun that I bought.
Sure.
And I've heard so much good stuff about SIG, and, in the past, everyone's just been, top notch.
Yep.
But before I actually bought this, I talked to a few owners of the SIG 220 Combat that I know that are around here locally, and they were saying that they had similar issues and that they had actually sent it in, and it indeed was an issue that was not factory spec. And basically what I'm getting at is, I'll go ahead and be blunt, I don't think that the finish should have that much wear on it. I mean, literally, it's like almost gone. And for a totally, and then, besides that, I mean, that's not really important, but besides that, these guns should work with whatever I run through them right out of the box.
Actually, they shouldn't, but that's nice that you believe that. There's specific ammos that are suggested for gun break-in as far as, grainage, etc., accuracy, in almost every single gun made on the planet, but our guns can use almost anything, absolutely. But I would tell you that if you look in your manual, it says that we will not warrant your gun if you use anything other than SAMI spec ammo. So if you were to put Wolf or Brown Bear or CCI Blazer, that's not CCI Blazer, Blazer aluminum as opposed to Blazer brass.
Right.
Reloads, remanufactured ammo, anything happens that's not a SAMI spec ammo, it voids your warranty. So
right, yeah.
Not any kind of thing that you want.
Well, yeah.
But I can tell you I have not heard of any of the issues that you're saying the other 220 Combat guys have talked about. I have talked to many of the Combat and Navy model several customers with similar break-in issues because of the rough phosphate treatment on the outside of that barrel.
Uh-huh.
And on the pictures on my wall here, almost every single one of them shows a shiny top on them in our own advertising.
Right.
I mean, that's the way they are designed. So, I mean, I certainly, can listen to bringing it in after a proper break-in period has passed. That's not a problem, but we wouldn't do it after only 108 rounds. No.
Right. So the proper break-in period you said was 300 to 500 rounds?
300 to 500, yeah, somewhere in there. And, we've got a lifetime warranty for you if you're the original purchaser of that gun. So, it's not like we're going to leave you out in the cold, and we're one of only 2 companies that still pays for your shipping, too.
Oh, okay,
so,
that's good. I was actually
trying
concerned
to,
about
get
that.
out of anything. I have perfect ability to bring it in without, costing me or you anything.
Right.
Company pays for it all. But I believe that the way you're describing it, that you're in perfectly good shape.
All right, well, I'll tell you what there, Mark. I'm going to go and I'm going to buy another 200 rounds of exactly what I ran through it, minus the...
Yep, no more of the Ranger Hollow
yeah,
points,
okay.
right?
I'm not going to use it. It actually didn't even hang up when I was using those, ironically.
Okay, good.
I'm going to go buy another 200 rounds of that, and I'm going to run it through this pistol, and if it continues to do it after the 200 rounds, so I'll just go ahead and get, say 250 rounds. I'll run the other
That's
200.
fine. Yeah, give us a call, have the serial number ready. We'll send you a prepaid UPS label and everything, so you don't have to pay for anything. And we can set it to go right back to your residence. You don't have to go through your dealer and pay for transfer fees and all that kind of silliness.
Well, all right, then. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for your time. So, that guy was kind of a smart ass. Actually, he was a pretty big smart ass. Well, I guess that I was kind of out of line for not doing the proper break-in. But seriously, okay, a fucking SIG combat fucking oriented pistol, should it not feed whatever the hell that I put in it? I mean, look at this shit. This is fucking ridiculous, dude. This is not normal wear. No other gun that I have does that bullshit. No other gun. And you can fucking feel it fucking stops right here. This is garbage. I'm going to do what that little prick said. And I'm going to go and buy 250 rounds of this shit, more shit, and I'm going to run it through this thing. And if it does it even so much as fucking once after I run 200 more rounds through this, then I am going to I'm going to be pissed. Because, oh, and by the way, if you couldn't tell, I'm obviously just totally bullshitting about taking this to a gunsmith. Yeah, I didn't do that, but I figured that little fucker was going to give me the goddamn runaround, and he sure as hell did. So that's wonderful. You know, they should send me fucking ammo for this, because this is expensive shit, breaking in this damn $1,000 pistol. Not only do I have to pay $1,000 for the fucking thing, I got to pay like $200 or $300 to break this little son of a bitch in. This is bullshit. But anyway, that guy was a big old smart ass. And it's kind of obvious he was being a real fucking smart ass on the phone there. That kind of actually was aggravating me. Fuck him. SIG's customer service is just full of a bunch of little smart ass bitches. So get raped.